go, baby.
Hello, Nasty. Hello there. Hello. I say hello.
Hello, friend.
Well, hello, little girl. Hello, my treacherous friends. Hello, operator. The beginning of everything. Welcome back, my friends. It's showtime.
Okay, we're back. Last segment of the show. I think this is probably episode 129 by now.
We've been going on for a while.
Yeah, it's been going on for a while. I'm going to break this up into two. Episode 129. I wanted to go over this story. Basically, explains why I hate today's society and what is wrong with it, all in one neat little package. All right?
I like that story.
Yeah, you're going to like it even more when I start the story.
Oh, right.
There we go.
We are now joined by Kathy Cruz Marrero and her attorney, James Polyak. Thank you so much for getting up early this morning. And Kathy, let me say right at the start, I get it. When I first saw this video, I said, this could be me. I sometimes get lost in the text as well. Can you just take us back?
Could it be you, though?
Wait,
it could not be me.
Rewind.
I heard this
Rewind.
No. They show... All right, this is a video that went viral. And during this interview, they show the clip about 700 times. So I don't need to rewind because they will show it.
Another 699 times.
It is just on loop. They barely even show the people doing the interview.
That moment, what happened? What were you thinking? And when did you realize that he had a terrible fall?
I realized when I was falling when I was in the water already. Unfortunately, I didn't have anything to grab onto and hold my balance.
Oh.
I was actually
Aren't you the
texting
victim?
a friend of mine from my church.
Oh, church.
I'm just going to
She's
throw in
right.
church so you stop making fun of me because I'm a complete moron. They'll explain what happened.
I'll get some other idiots, which is my only offense.
This text.
All right, the interviewer just said, what was so important about this text, and he's smirking. Because what really happened is this lady was walking and texting and walked into a huge fountain. Not just a little fountain. I mean, this thing is the size of most small storefronts. It was
It's
a
the
huge fountain.
size of an apartment, really.
Yeah. And she was looking down and texting and walked straight into it and got wet. And this has happened a lot where people... Do you know all of England kind of put foam covering over their telephone poles because so many people were texting and walking into poles? They reinforced them.
Is that valid?
That
camera
really
apps.
happens.
You can get the camera app where it gives you like a bit of a translucent image through your camera.
So you don't have to look away from your goddamn
while
phone?
you're texting.
Oh, that's
Seriously.
There's so much wrong with that.
Text and walk, I think it's called.
These people don't want you to look away from your phone.
This woman
ever.
is suing, though, isn't she?
I think so. I didn't get all the way through
Suing
it.
because she's so fucking stupid she fell into a fountain at a mall.
Because she was texting.
Well, let's see where this goes.
She was just asking me for my birthday.
So this was the important fall into the fountain text.
Oh, her church and birthday. Wow.
And my husband's birthday.
Okay.
And she's married.
That's why it was such a long
People
text.
don't
She had to
like
walk into a
their
room.
spouse's identity being exploited.
No.
And
She's
I
got
don't know
a
what got
dude
into my
haircut,
head, and
which
I
is
just said,
never
let me text her
attractive.
back quickly.
Let me text her back quickly, but not quickly enough to walk into a fountain. By the way, she's trying to choke back tears this entire interview because it's so traumatic.
What a
Oh my God.
cunt.
Let's see her again. Let's hear the tear
It keeps
factor.
going.
Was that I was in a fountain.
So, from the video,
You know what?
it looked actually
It's
pretty compelling for someone who
hilarious.
just fell into the fountain.
How do you not know? If I fell into a fountain, I would be like, all right, you know what?
You got me.
Why is she on
That's
the bloody,
hilarious.
like, morning news show?
Oh, it gets better. It gets better.
I just don't understand.
No, it gets better.
So she fell in a little fountain and got a bit wet. She ruined her mobile. Is that why she's all pissed off?
It gets better.
Middle of a mall, you picked yourself up, you got out. What happened next?
Well, I was more probably dumbfounded.
Because of your stupidity.
I was totally embarrassed. I was like, well, I'm hoping nobody saw me.
You're
so
in
let me
a
just
shopping
walk
mall.
away. A kind lady of a store there, manager at the mall, was kind enough. I walked up to her, and all I kept saying was, I fell in the fountain. I fell in the fountain.
Oh my!
I fell in the fountain.
I fell in the fountain.
I fell in the fountain.
Yes, we can see that.
I'm a
You're
weak
sopping
person who
wet.
has no responsibility and can't handle my situation.
I got water on my clothes, and now my clothes are wet.
And I fell.
And I fell in the fountain.
I'm not used to things that are outside of my husband and
she
kids
came-
and my
Church.
family and church and meals, and now that something happened, I need retribution.
Church fountains don't have people in it, but mall fountains do because I fell in the fountain.
Fountain lady fights back. Fountain lady fights back.
Oh, she's on a mission. Yes, she is.
Oh, she
She
fights
said
back.
she wanted to hug me, but I was so drenched, she didn't dare.
But you didn't hear anything.
She said, she wanted to hug me, but I was so wet. She said, no.
I was too wet for justice.
And a hug.
Too wet for justice.
And a hug.
Too drenched for cuddling. The fountain lady story.
But not drenched enough for retribution. But drenched for cuddling.
Where's the justice?
Oh, it gets
Where's
worse.
the humanity?
It gets worse.
It gets worse. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I know some stupid cunt fell in the fountain. That's all I know. Continue.
From mall security, correct?
Nothing at all.
The mall security didn't come to.
They didn't come to my rescue
Let's
from.
hear that shocker again. I need to be engaged in this bit. Ready?
They didn't come to my rescue from the 11 inches of water.
Okay, wait. Ready?
But I was so drenched, she didn't dare.
But you didn't hear anything from mall security,
Didn't
correct?
dare.
Nothing at all. To my knowledge, they got there 20 minutes after I left.
When did you first learn this had gone viral all around the world?
I got a phone call Friday morning from my nephew, and he's like, "Do you know you're on YouTube?"
That's actually 2 days after the fall, right?
Hilarious.
Yeah, but I did call mall security Thursday, the next morning. I called them and I let them know that I'm a mall employee.
Fight back. Well, that changes everything, doesn't it?
She should have bloody known where the fountain was.
Right, you would think somebody who
Oh
works
my
at the mall
God.
would know about the huge, gigantic centerpiece fountain.
Olympic-sized swimming pool fountain.
Yes, the mall employee did not know about the huge,
because she wasn't
huge,
looking
deadly
when she
fountain.
walked into the fountain.
right.
Well, she, you know what? Looking at her face, she takes herself absolutely serious. It's unbelievable.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
She's,
She
you know
thinks
what?
she's
You're
got
right.
it
It's
made.
everything that's wrong with America. She's kind of like, all right. It's kind of like you get a splinter, but yet you live in America. You're kind of like, okay, I got a splinter.
Who was
Most
responsible for the splinter?
Most people could just handle a splinter because it's not a big deal.
Most people have a tweezer, yeah.
But you know what? I might be able to
Get something for this from
make
someone.
money off.
Yeah, who made this wood? Who didn't sand this wood down good enough? Here we go.
I said, I do not want to say the store where I work or my name because I'm really, really embarrassed. I didn't get an apology.
I'm really embarrassed, but I decided to go on national TV and tell my story about this.
She about to whinge about not getting an apology from someone.
Right. From the
And
fountain.
she went on national
For
television.
her texting and walking into a fountain.
Well, fountains can't speak, so
Fountain lady fights back.
I never got an apology, so where do we go from here?
Well, clearly,
What happens now?
The people who made the fountain, obviously.
Over the phone either. I said, I don't think that was nice what your people did. And he's like, no, it's not. That wasn't very nice at all. But, we'll try to take drastic measures and just be
Are
lucky
you
that nobody
stupid?
knows you.
Do you?
No one knows it was you until you went on national television.
Do I have a really violent side, or do you just want to punch this lady in the nose?
I want to push her in a fountain.
I want to slit her throat and fuck her the whole
Okay,
neck.
so I'm more adjusted than you. Okay.
Glad that nobody knows you.
But meanwhile, the
was
whole
his
world
answer.
was watching this on YouTube.
And now they're
and
watching you.
Television stations, our
Absolutely,
show.
and
He's smirking
having
all the
a
time.
great laugh on my account.
Yeah, well, maybe next time.
Rightfully?
I admit it
Yeah.
was funny, but
But
Nobody took my feelings into consideration. I'm sorry.
You fell into a 1-foot fountain and got up
Because-
immediately.
Because you were too stupid to look where you were walking.
Nobody took into consideration that I walked into a fountain, and that's hilarious. And it's even funnier because I was texting.
no. Wow.
It gets worse.
I'm going to download that app so that I can text. And
The lady
walk
falls into a fountain app.
Actually, you're on
You
something
could,
there.
you could walk and watch a lady fall into a fountain at all times.
Nobody. Nobody called. Are you okay?
The best part is
Are
that
you okay? You stood up immediately.
nobody called, even though I stood up 7 nanoseconds later. I love how every time they show this video on loop, you hear the people who are filming it laugh in the background.
I thought that was us.
never gets old.
Nobody came to my aid. You stood up immediately. And there's nobody within like a 30-foot radius of her. There's nobody in this mall. I don't know when she was in this mall, but there was nobody in
It was
this
like
mall.
11 a.m. on like a Tuesday or something.
Yeah.
She got as lucky as you could get.
It shows in the video, nobody went to my aid. Not one single person went to my aid.
Choking
It
back
could have
tears.
been anybody's mother.
There's nobody even in the screen.
Anybody's
It could have been
mother.
a senior citizen.
There's nobody in the
calling,
whole screen.
She got up
you know,
immediately.
and would they have gotten the same treatment as I did?
So, James, what kind of claims do you plan to pursue against the mall operators now?
Please.
Well, we're at the very early stages of our investigation into this matter, George. But certainly we intend to hold all responsible parties accountable.
Which
whether
is
that
just
means-
her.
Sue her. Sue her.
Wait, go back to that. I want to see if he's laughing when he says that.
I'm glad you guys are laughing because I'm furious.
We
All
plan to
accountable
hold all
parties.
accountable parties.
So there's more other than texting douchebag. I was texting me on my husband's birthday and I fell into a well.
And somebody created a party.
That's the only way this story would be funnier if she fell into a well.
Well, she'd be like the well boy and baby Jessica and such.
Exactly. It would be classic.
requesting or demanding an apology, certainly requesting an explanation for why this happened, how
No,
it
wait.
happened.
Go back to
An
the
explanation as to why it happened.
You didn't look up.
You
You
were
didn't
texting
look
your
up.
birthday and your husband's birthday to your church people.
I didn't get this far into the video. Sorry, I'm really angry right now. You didn't
Yeah,
look up.
but
Why
just
this
go back a sec.
happened.
Go back a sec. I want to hear that we were going to hold all
Could we return?
responsible.
Could we go back?
This is why it didn't happen. You didn't look up.
This is brilliant. So just so people who haven't seen this, so she's sitting there with, I'm assuming this is
I
an
am just
attorney.
going to look straight down and
Is that-
run straight ahead until I seriously injure myself and then sue the shit out of everyone.
Is that her attorney?
matter,
Yes.
George. But certainly we intend to hold all responsible parties accountable, whether that means
She wipes
requesting
away
or
a tear.
demanding an apology, certainly requesting an explanation for why this happened, how it happened, and certainly we want to know the identity of all persons responsible with making the video public.
Look to your
what?
right.
Yeah, correct.
Look to your right.
Yes. All parties responsible.
That's the answer to all your questions.
Everything. Your client.
All problem solved. Look to the right.
Yeah, look to
Oh
your
my
cunt
God.
lawyer who was looking for a bit of publicity.
Get out.
And posting it on YouTube. Well, it's unclear, but we suspect that an official within the security office at the mall viewed the footage and allowed the footage to be videotaped onto a cell phone, and
No,
it
it
was
looks like
that
it's just a
cell
bloody
phone.
mall goer just filming it. You know,
So
on their phone.
he's saying somebody was watching mall security tape and recorded the mall security
Yeah.
video stream onto a cell phone. That, sir, is very unlikely.
Yes.
If that is your offense, the defense will win. Because that is preposterous.
I think it's more likely it's somebody in the mall, some 16-year-old
Of
kid,
course.
going, "Oh yeah, I'll get a load of this."
It's a
Well,
recording
like,
of
I
a
don't
video
understand
of a recording.
What her problem is? What could have happened to make her less stupid. Like, how could anybody have jumped out of the woodwork and been like, okay, we have a fucking knuckle dragger here, so what can we do? Because this is the stupidest fucking woman alive, and we get it, and we've seen her, and she gets that we've seen her, and she is now suing us because we've seen her, we didn't take action. So this is the stupidest human being on earth. What is someone going to do to prevent that from happening?
Ban water.
Like, what is her, like,
No
in
texting
her head,
and walking.
In her head, what is it? Like, what is it that could have happened that would prevent her from suing?
Warning, water is liquid.
Warning, if you don't look in front of you, you may walk into something. I mean, what did she want? Someone to be walking along, holding her hand, guiding her along the way while she texted away?
What it is it's instant reality show celebrity.
Warning.
Basically, people become reality show celebrities, and they get this sense of self-entitlement, and they're like, oh, well,
And they want to be...
I have this leverage because 200,000 people are interested in me. What's mine? What's mine?
Warning,
You know, like-
solid water is not intangible.
all
Snooki.
self-promotion,
Snooki.
self-publication.
Fucking Snooki. She has no discernible talent.
www.brinkofsanityshow.com.
Oh, you got the show in there. Nobody does that.
Snooki has no discernible talent. She's not interesting. She's
All right.
Follow us on
vapid.
How much would you pay to have Snooki shit on your forehead?
$5,000. It
Full
hasn't
circle.
changed.
Actually, okay, wait. Go back. Kind of on this note, I'm interested. Did you guys hear about how one of the mayor's big...
Well, we're
big-
not done with this story.
Oh, okay. All right.
We got
Continue.
less than a minute left, but we're not
We'll
done.
All right,
continue.
go.
On video that ended up being posted on YouTube.
And Kathy, I know you,
I
is
love
that
the laughing.
hilarious?
I love the laughing in the
So
background.
much
I love it.
laughing. Always
embarrassed as you
laughing.
are from all this, you did learn a big lesson, huh?
Absolutely. Absolutely, George.
I can't wait to
Oh
see
my
what this
God,
lesson
oh my
is.
God.
Fountain Lady fights back.
All right.
What's the
guess
lesson?
What did
guess
she
what the
learn?
lesson's
All right, okay. In an ideal world, she will say, I need to not be such a bloody idiot and perhaps watch where I'm going.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
No.
But under the advice of this guy, and all of a sudden being an instant reality show YouTube celebrity, she feels self-entitled, so she won't
It'll
say
be
that.
that-
Jay, your take on what she'll say.
I'm going to have a. What can you say? What can you say? She
She's
works at the
She's
mall.
going to say something to the effect of, you can't count on society and,
Oh, that's
security
good.
people,
That's good,
blah,
yeah.
blah.
She'll
to
leave
be
the
there
door
for you.
open
You
for
need to-
endorsement.
So,
Yeah, that's
we
good.
need to all look around us and, and security people need to do a better job. Again, I could have been someone's mother or an elderly.
So now the
blah, blah.
price of every item in a mall is going to go up about 50% because we have to have 7,000 security guards
Right.
surrounding every inch of every piece of water.
She's the equivalent of why we have to
And
take
you
our
just
shoes
can't
off
be
at
too
the airport.
careful.
Yeah.
You have to be careful. You can't get complacent because there are these dangers that lurk around the corner, and no one's going to.
And
be
no
there
one
to
has
bail
your
you
back.
out.
Yeah.
Not one person
When you're in an empty mall at 4 in the morning,
texting away with your eyes closed and your headphones
yeah, and
on.
you walk into a 6-inch fountain, and the 0 people are there that don't come to your aid.
and
She
then people
tripped.
are too afraid to hug you because
She
they didn't
tripped.
dare because she was wet.
Yeah, I like that she threw that
Dare.
in.
Like, as if-
People didn't dare hug her.
As if she was like talking
Brilliant.
like she was fragile and like
As if she got AIDS.
Or like she like hiked up some mountain with like her arm cut off or something and they might hurt her.
No joke, I fell the other day, and I wasn't walking around like looking for a hug.
Because you weren't wet.
I fell on the pile of snow. I fell on the pile of snow.
I fell on my bed.
Yeah, I fell out of my bed. Give me
No,
a hug.
not out of it, just onto it.
Okay.
You know what?
We'll get into that next time.
So, all right,
All right, let's-
how many people live in the world?
Too many.
Billions.
Billions. How many people a day trip? Millions.
Millions.
How many people
4.
are not lucky enough to trip into water? Millions?
I wish you fell into a spiked pit, and there was no reason.
How many people fall onto the ground? Millions every day.
Yep.
She fell into water.
Yeah. But she was wet.
Which is better than the millions of people that have fallen that day.
You know, she probably wanted one of those, like, caution, slippery, wet surface signs or something, you know, like, caution, fountain. Caution, if you don't open your eyes and look where you're walking, you might fall into something.
Maybe her lesson is learn how to text faster.
Oh, let's go for that. Or or maybe she'll actually say something like, don't, when you think it's just going to take half a second, it could, that half a second could change your life, you know, and so when people are driving.
My guess is she's going to sort of open the door for more publicity.
Yeah.
She's going to kind of create a controversy subtly, because at this point, this woman has PR people. Because she's a commodity.
It's just such bullshit.
Does this lawyer guy feel like the biggest douchebag ever?
Yeah, but he's used to it. He's used to it. Doesn't
They don't
matter.
have his name.
Money's money.
I want to see what other kind of cases he's all about.
All right, let's hear her big message.
Her take on the whole thing.
And the moral of this story is...
From someone too stupid to understand it.
Do not text and walk, especially to the younger generation. It couldn't. The fountain could have been empty.
It could have been filled with lava.
It could have been filled with love and
or
unicorns
snakes.
And
it could have been filled with rapists.
Yeah, it could have been filled with AIDS needles. It could have been filled with black people.
Hospital. I could have walked into a bus. You know.
I could have
walked into a bus.
Yeah, you could have, you idiot. Because you probably wouldn't have seen that coming either. You probably would have walked into a train.
Correct.
Anywhere.
Well, thank you for being such a good sport and for sharing what you learned this morning. Good luck.
Yeah,
thank you. She did kind of take a little bit of
Thank you so much,
responsibility.
Joyce. Thank you for having us.
We want to know what you think about all this. You can weigh in on our shout-out board at abcnews.com/GMA.
ABC News. She made it to ABC News.
And we should go check out their shout-out board and see how people reacted to that.
I'm going to run.
Who cares? It doesn't matter.
I'm just going to run face first into storefronts until somebody puts me on the news.
Yeah. So on that note,
aren't you guys glad I found that story? That was like a half hour material.
Brilliant.
That was good.
Oh, it's good. So the other day, the mayor's giving his, like State of the Union, so to speak, on the city, and I actually didn't catch this bit, but hopefully you guys did, and you can fill me in. I just heard that one of the big points to come out of it was he's hoping to make hailing cabs easier. The way you hail a cab could drastically change.
Oh.
It'll be easier. What? Why? What is wrong with just simply putting your arm up?
How easier could it get?
Exactly. This is what I don't understand. And why was this like a big point?
We did a study for 7 years, and it cost millions of dollars. And
so what is the answer? How do you hail a cab easier?
Be white. Sorry for all the racial jokes, but
yeah, tip. Oh,
you know what the real answer is? Don't be from the boroughs.
Yeah, that's
no. Or hop in the cab before you tell them where you're going, or you say just the street number. I'm going down to 33rd Street.
You get in the
driving,
cab and
you're like,
shut it. Yeah,
in Queens.
Yeah,
that's what you do.
No, that's the real answer.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to go to the boroughs.
No,
they don't want to do it.
I think the whole race thing is like. I think we're done with that. I don't think that's like a.
You mean for the podcast?
Like 20 years ago, they had like the black guy and the white guy both standing on the street corner, and you would pass if it was a black guy, and you would stop if it was a white guy.
I don't know. One of my mates at work who's black was telling me sometime in the last year that's a big problem still.
Really?
Yeah, all the time. And he's not
those racist
precious.
Arabs.
I thought it was actually the redhead chicks driving the cabs, but and I mean, I was quite surprised. A lot of things that I was like, really? That still happens?
I thought we were beyond that. I thought we could joke about it.
But he said you don't notice it probably.
I guess.
It doesn't affect you directly. Like
I make racial jokes, but it's not like
I'm not racist in fucking
None
slightest. I don't care. It's
course.
just kind of fucking funny.
It's ridiculous that it's just absurd that people actually are that way. I mean,
it's actually amusing
so
that. I don't know. Is it do black people not tip in a cab? I don't fucking know. I don't give a fuck.
No, it's just people being narrow-minded, small,
Well,
idiotic.
maybe they kind of don't on average. You know what? Like, stereotypes sort of exist for a reason.
No.
It doesn't mean...
Is that
like,
their stereotype?
No,
fuck
I don't,
yes.
No.
That they don't tip in cabs?
Absolutely.
Really?
Oh, I wasn't
No,
aware of
it's
that.
never
It's
heard that.
black people do not tip in cabs. It's a giant stereotype. It's why cabs don't pick black people up.
Wow, I've never heard of that one.
Really? I heard it. I mean, I don't know. I mean...
Never heard that. Let's Google it. Google
Well, you know what?
No, I've Googled enough stuff that's put me on the watch list. I'm not Googling anything else like that.
I mean...
Is there a watch list? Should I not be Googling fly like a G6?
Should I be Googling...
No, you shouldn't be Googling that for other reasons, like the fact that it sucks.
So sucks. But I'm just wondering, like, maybe that's what it was. Because meanwhile, I was thinking, like, how could it get any easier to hail a cab? You just put your arm up and away you go.
And then they pull up 10 feet in front of you and ask where you're going, and if you say a borough, they drive away.
You don't say a borough. You just hop in quickly.
You get it and jump. You
get
know
them-
what? I had that when I lived in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Because I lived in Brooklyn forever, man. And I would jump in the cab and say it. And I'm like, fuck. And, you know, 1 of 10 cabs would be like, it's the end of my shift.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
had that.
Oh,
the
terrific,
first car
cunt.
that pulled up tonight to get me. I mean, I wasn't going to take him anyway because he was like an unmarked, town car cab. But he was like, I'm going out to Queens. And he's like, yeah, no. I'm like, oh, stuff you. I didn't want to take your fare anyway.
You said stuff you.
I did. Don't
Really?
judge.
Wow, okay.
Stuff you?
Yeah. No, I think I said get stuffed then. I don't want to take your
What does
fare
that
anyway.
mean?
It's like get fucked.
Okay.
Like get stuffed. Like, oh, get
With a
stuffed
penis.
then. Like stuff, to say like, I was pretty stuffed. Like fucked means like
Food.
you're pretty wrecked. You're fucked. You can say stuff off. You can say get
What
stuffed
planet?
means like get fucked. Basically, I don't know. It's
Australia, probably.
yeah, I guess. Yeah, people don't say that here.
I'm confused. Are you from Australia or do you know Peterson's forever? I don't... What's hapning
He
here?
lived in Australia
Who's
for
your
a
brother?
decade.
These stories don't match up.
Yeah, fair
I don't know
enough.
what's happening.
I'm just playing along.
We just met outside in front of your place.
I've known Peter since 1988. I have all these mystery Australia stories that just don't add up. I don't know.
Yet oddly, Peter lived in Australia. Doo-doo-doo.
That I did not know.
Nope.
Full disclosure, people. Making the host look like an idiot.
I've known Peter since I was, 16, I think. 16 or 17. And then I lived with Peter for a year right out of college. And then I moved to
Like a
Australia.
friend thing, or...
Yeah. It was Sam, Peter,
It was Sam.
and me. And Peter and I shared a room. I mean, it was a 2-part room.
It was sort of a two-part room.
It was like a typical Brooklyn...
A 2-part room.
I don't know. It was like a...
I remember you
thing.
fucking brought some fucking cunt dude home one night. I'm like, oh my god.
I think you probably brought
No.
Miss
Maybe.
AG by at some point.
But I do remember you bringing some fucking dude home.
A
Like,
2-part room.
it was sort of like 2 bedrooms with a half wall. You can imagine
We were
it.
gonna build a wall for months, and then in the end we
Like
found
a
a
dirty
tapestry.
curtain that smells like bong residue.
Well, we were like 21.
Ish.
Yeah, no,
So I'm right.
It was cool. No, it was. No, it wasn't like that. But who did I bring home? That was a douchebag.
Who didn't you, ba-boom?
Kind of true.
We have to
I
end it.
don't think so.
This is like a 7-hour show. We're done.
All
Yeah,
right.
we have to end it. I have to go to bed.
Done.
You've been
Pick it up.
yawning for about an hour and a half, so
Alright, you have an editor on this?
time for the goodbye song. I have so much editing to do. You
have
guys,
so much editing. We have some good
guys.
stuff, but a lot of not.
Yeah.
Alright.
All right. Goodbye song.
Goodbye, everybody.
To New York.
This is the end